Hey guys, it is Tuesday, March 12th. I'm starting this vlog late in the day. It's like 3 o'clock. I just got back upstairs. Sorry, I'm still figuring out the lighting and everything in this space. So yes, I just got upstairs. Penelope is with the sitter. Back in Boston, we had afternoon sitters on Wednesday and Friday. Here we're trying Tuesday and Thursday so that I can go to the gym on Wednesday and Friday. Yeah, so she's with her now. Today I planned to vlog this morning, but I'm just still trying to dig out of the hole of the deadlines that I'm in. That's not quite the right metaphor, but that's kind of what it feels like. It feels like I've been feeling behind for like 3 weeks and I still am feeling behind. I mean, I haven't been late on any deadlines, but I've been like up to the last minute, and usually I love to like finish the day before or be sending things in early, and I haven't been able to at all. I've just been like using every second. And so today I was working on finishing working on 3 different projects, working on an editorial project and then finishing up those 2 different packaging projects that I was working on last week. Well, finishing up one of them and then kind of mid-process on the other one. And all 3 of these projects have deadlines tomorrow. So for one of the packaging projects, it's the final deadline. For the editorial commission, it's the final deadline. And then actually, no, I guess today was the deadline for some other phases of the work for the second packaging project. So I've been kind of juggling those 3 things. Those are the 3 big pieces. And then I also have been corresponding with a few different new clients, one for another editorial commission, a larger editorial commission, which will be working on next week. One for one who's going to license some images, who has licensed some images to use on swimsuit, to use in apparel, to use on swimsuit fabric. So that will be fun. I'm excited to share those when they're out. But that's actually a good example of something that's like, I already did the illustrations. She just wanted to license them. It's awesome. And it seems like, oh, so easy, but it still does require time because I have to prep the files for the way that they need the files. And then I have to write up a contract and send out an invoice. And so even though it was stuff that I had already done between corresponding with her and then writing up all the materials, I probably spent a couple of hours on that. And then prepping the files and all that. So I was doing that today because she needed them by today in order to make her print deadline. Yeah, so just like a lot of things. Had one of those mornings where, since Tuesday's my first day in the studio, I always write my to-do list for the week. And I just like did kind of the mental dump of like everything that I knew I needed to get done. And before I did that, I had this just vague amorphous sense of anxiety of like, oh my gosh, this week is going to be another crazy one. Like, how am I going to do all of this? And usually writing it all down makes me feel better. But after I saw it all written down, I was like, oh my gosh, it's so much worse than I thought. But the good news is I just started into it. I prioritized things and I put down things that I knew I had to do today, and I grouped together similar tasks. So like all of the admin stuff, all of the email stuff, all of the painting stuff, and just started chipping away. And it is the later part of the day now. I'm probably going to work for a couple of hours until around 5. And then I will end up working again tonight. So maybe I will do a special edition vlog from the couch while I'm watching Netflix and drawing. But for now, I think I am going to, so 2 sort of painting things I have to work on. One is watercolor and then the other is colored pencil. So I think I'm going to work on the watercolor one now because it's easier to do from my desk, and I don't worry about spilling paint on the sofa. And then I'll do the colored pencil thing probably tonight after Penelope is in bed. Eric's working late too, so I'm not going to worry about it. We'll just both be working late, and I'll be probably watching Marie Kondo or something. Yeah, so that's today. And then this week is going to be mostly finishing So tomorrow is the deadline day, so I have to like prep stuff, prep final files, prep the scans and everything for the editorial commission and for the new, for the first packaging project. So that'll be most of tomorrow. And then some admin stuff, follow up for both of those as well, like invoicing and all that. And then Thursday, yeah, tomorrow's, well, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I'll be working on the pieces for the second packaging project, hoping to have them all done by end of day Friday. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 more, I think. So it's possible I could have them done by end of day Friday. The final deadline is Monday, end of day Monday. But I'm hoping to have them finished by Friday. So yes, that is the plan for the week. I'm gonna take you along as usual. Gonna try to keep it short. We'll see how that goes. And by short, I mean not, you know, me talking on and on and on. But yeah, we're off to a bad start with that. So, all right, I'm gonna get to some painting. Wednesday, March 13th, about 8:15. I've been working mostly in watercolor for the past week. Well, no, actually, I guess I did do a couple days with a lot of colored pencil, but most recently, I've been mostly working with watercolor. And I was just clearing the watercolors away because I'm done with them for now. And I'm going to be using colored pencil today and probably for the next couple of days too, because the packaging assignment that I'm working on has, they only want me to use colored pencil. But I thought I would show you what I'm working on right now. I am doing an editorial assignment, and I'm gonna show you kind of where it's at right now, but I'm not gonna show any more work after this because I want to be respectful and not show too much. But I thought you might be interested to see some of the process in terms of like how I get reference images and how I'm using reference images for this. So here is my iPad. This has a reference image on it. I'm doing a piece about lentils. So I don't know if you can see, if I zoom in really far, like, so the client sent me some photos of lentils, but they were actually like, probably the piles were 2 or 3 times the size of these. So in order for me to draw the lentils, they would have been really, really tiny and I wouldn't have been able to get much detail. So I suggested to the client that we basically just use a portion of the pile. So if you zoom in, you can see I've kind of cut some things out, and this one I didn't do much pasting together, but like this one, yeah, this one I cut out and pasted together, so you can kind of see the edge here, but I did my best to make it look cohesive. So yeah, they sent me the images, but I kind of adjusted them to make them work. And I could have just worked off of the image itself and done the weaving together mentally as I worked, but lately I've been preferring to actually kind of, if I am going to use multiple reference images, to put them all together before I start working. And then here is where the illustration is at for the moment. So this is just the very first layer. Well, actually, I guess technically it's the second layer because I put in, I don't know if you can see if that's in focus, but some of these darker areas I blocked in with colored pencil. It was just a different thing I was trying before, that I hadn't tried before. I just wanted to see if it would help to have those darker areas down and then lay the watercolor over the top. And it worked because, I mean, almost all of the image still didn't have any colored pencil on it. And the areas where I did put colored pencil, the watercolor just kind of didn't take. So yeah, I may be using that technique again for this kind of subject where there's tons of little ins and outs and lots of details to keep track of. I just I wanted to have those landmarks down to help me keep my place in the sketch. So at this point, I'm gonna choose my colored pencils, put together my colored pencil palette based off of my reference image, and then spend pretty much all of the morning trying to get this to a higher level of detail. So I feel like I have at least 6 hours of work left on this, but I really only have like 4 or so hours to finish it. So I'm gonna have to just buckle down and be as productive as I can. Hey, it is later on Wednesday. It's about 7:40. I have just been painting since I put Penelope down. Eric is working late again tonight, which works well because I also need to work late. The client that this is for, they didn't get me feedback. Well, things are getting delayed, but I still need to try to make the original deadline, which is the 19th. I had wanted to have all of the feedback. We did things kind of in phases. Like we did all the sketches, but then they wanted me to develop 2 of the pieces completely to final stage before moving on to the others. And somewhere in the process of all that, getting me feedback on the other sketches that were done at the beginning got fell between the cracks, beneath the cracks. I'm brain dead. Yes. So I was supposed to planning on having feedback last week. Didn't finally get it locked down today, so I wasn't able to get any work done on these today up until this evening. Feedback finally came through around 4 o'clock, I think. And there were a few things I had to change. I had to redo one of the sketches, but it's all good. I'm just gonna keep on moving. These are getting done mostly in colored pencil. A few of the subjects, I'm doing a thin wash of watercolor anyway. Even though the client specifically wants it to have a very like colored pencil look, it's just gonna save me time if I have a base layer of color. I'm not gonna go too dark or too detailed. I'm gonna really rely on the colored pencil, but I'm just gonna get that base layer down. So I wanna get that done for all of these tonight, and it's for 5 large, they're all pretty large, 5 large illustrations. I should be able to do that because it's nothing too complicated. I'm just putting down like washes of color, and then that way they'll be completely dry in the morning and I can start working on the colored pencil. And then I mostly wrapped up my other packaging project. They ended up having one other SKU, one other package, one other subject that they want me to work on. So I'll do that next week. And I finished up the editorial thing. I made it, delivered both of those on time. So that's good. Both clients were very happy, which is great. I have been in a similar state to what I was in last week, where I'm just like so frazzled that I'm having a hard time telling how I feel about a given piece, which is not usually the case for me. But anyway, I am working in the living room so that I can watch TV. I've been back on The Handmaid's Tale again. I don't actually watch very much TV. So whenever I do get a chance, like if Eric's working late and I can work downstairs, it's kind of fun. So I'm doing that. I've got the gas fireplace on, which is one of the fun things about our new place in Pennsylvania. Yeah, and that's pretty much going to be this evening. So I will see you from the studio tomorrow morning. Friday morning, about 10:30. I've been in the studio for a couple of hours. I have mostly been working on finishing up this second packaging assignment, which is what I was doing all day yesterday, and I didn't do any vlogging because I was just like super focused on it. But I think I have finished up the traditional elements of it, which is like most of the process, like 95% of the process. I am gonna have a little bit more digital editing to do on this assignment than I usually do. So I need to allow time for that, but the deadline for these is Tuesday, so I think I might even finish by Monday, which would be great. Yeah, so this morning I was working on finishing that up, and then you just saw me straightening up the studio, doing some scanning. All of the pieces were large, so they've all had to be scanned in 2 batches, and then I'll weave those together, which is some of what I'll do for the digital editing. Yeah, so that has been the big focus. And I'd like to actually just transition to doing that right now, to doing all the digital stuff, because that's kind of where my brain is. But I think I'm gonna make myself switch gears and do some stuff on the computer. I need to finish uploading. Well, it's finished uploading, but I need to like make the cover and do the description box and all that for the vlog that's gonna go up today. And then I have several emails that really need to be responded to. Some housekeeping for new client assignments that are starting next week, as well as just some responses to questions, that sort of thing. So I think I probably will wrap up the vlog here. I hope this week has been interesting. I feel like I'm just not in a great swing with videos again yet, because I'm so distracted with everything else that's going on, but I'm still trying to put the content out there, trying to share what is really going on. So if the videos feel kind of scattered, it's because that's how I'm feeling. So yeah, I hope it's still worthwhile for you guys, even though they're not the most exciting vlogs in the world at this point. But yes, I will try to vlog again next week. That's the plan. And then hopefully after next week, I'll be able to have, you know, the bandwidth to do some other, maybe more sit down videos. So we will see. But for now, I'm gonna wrap it up by saying thank you to my patrons. And I wanted to mention too, we've been doing some fun things over on Patreon. It's the second month of doing a patron critique, where all of my patrons, anybody who wants to, send in a link to a piece of art that they've made, and then they vote on which of those pieces of art they want to see me critique, and I do a video critique of it. So I've made one of those, I think, public on the page, so you can see what it looks like if you want to. There's a link to Patreon in the description. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun doing those, loving seeing the things that you guys are submitting. I wish I could critique every single one. Maybe when we reach a milestone, I'll do some kind of, I don't know, like something where I critique like 10 pieces or something and do them faster. But anyway, that's been going on. That's been really fun. So thank you to everybody who is participating there, and to everybody who is contributing, both to the community and contributing financially. Yeah, my patrons make it possible for me to make these videos, and to pay Meg to edit the videos, which is 100% the only thing that's keeping them coming out at this point. Just with what life has been like lately, I probably would have had to drop off in terms of uploading. So I'm super grateful to all of you for making that possible. And thank you to everybody who's watching, as usual, to all of you, especially who are leaving comments and being encouraging and nice and supporting one another and being nice to me and all of that. Yes, I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And special thank you, of course, as well to Meg for editing. Yeah, and that is going to be it for this week. I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.